Hello everyone, this is Nishta Shrivastava, legal intern under Lexis and Company, and today in this video we are going to discuss the recent judgment that has been given by the Supreme Court regarding Section 18 of the Limitation Act, which deals with the acknowledgement of liability in case of a fraud or any misstatement. The Supreme Court recently, comprising of a bench of Justice R.F. Nariman, B.R. Gawai, and Rishikesh Roy, has held that an entry made in the books of accounts, including the balance sheet, can amount to an acknowledgement of liability within the meaning of Section 18 of the Limitation Act. This was in the case of Asset Reconstruction Company India versus Bishal Jaiswal and others. Now it's important to understand first what are the facts of the case. So Corporate Power Limited, who was the corporate debtor, availed a loan from various lenders in 2009 for the purpose of setting up a thermal power project in Jharkhand. State Bank of India, one of the such lenders, declared the corporate debtor as a non-performing asset, and the numerous lenders assigned the debts owed to them by the corporate debtor to the Asset Reconstruction Company India Limited, who is the appellant. Subsequently, a Section 7 application under the code was filed by the appellant before the NCLT. This application was admitted and held to be within limitation, observing that the balance sheets of the corporate debtor acknowledged the debt, thereby extending the period of limitation as envisaged under Section 18 of the Limitation Act. The corporate debtor preferred an appeal before the National Company Law Tribunal, Appellate Tribunal, that is the NCLAT, placing reliance on an earlier judgment of the NCLAT, that was V. Padmakumar versus Stressed Asset Stabilization Fund, which specifically held that entries in balance sheets would not amount to acknowledgement of debt for the purpose of extending limitation under Section 18 of the Limitation Act. Now, what happened that after a preliminary inquiry, a 3-member bench of the Appellate Tribunal passed an order on 25th September 2020 doubting the correctness of the decision in the above said case and referred the following matter to the acting chairman of the NCLAT to constitute a bench of coordinate strength to reconsider the judgment in V. Padmakumar. Consequently, a 5-member bench of the NCLT, wide the impact judgment dated 22nd December 2020, refused to adjudicate the question referred, stating that the reference to the bench was itself incompetent. Thus, the present appeal was then brought to the Supreme Court, and now the Supreme Court had two issues before it. First, whether an entry made in the balance sheet of a corporate debtor would amount to an acknowledgement of liability under Section 18 of the Limitation Act. So, the first issue talked about the entries related to the balance sheet and whether it amounted to the liability. And the second issue was that whether Section 18 of the Limitation Act that extends the limitation period depending on an acknowledgement of a debt made in writing signed by a corporate debtor would be applicable under Section 238A or not. It's important to discuss the contention of the parties. So the Asset Reconstruction Company contended, that is the appellate contended, that the V. Padmakumar case, which was referred to in this particular case, is per incurium on the grounds that it did not consider a catena of judgments of the Supreme Court and the High Court, whereby it has been expressly held that balance sheet entries of a company which are duly signed would amount to an acknowledgement of liability under Section 18 of the Limitation Act. The appellant further argued that even though a balance sheet has to be filled under a statutory compulsion, that itself does not mean that an acknowledgement of liability also has to be made under the statutory compulsion. Moreover, the respondent had other things to say. So the respondent argued that the balance sheets are relevant in recovery proceedings only and cannot be relied upon in proceedings under the IBC. It was additionally argued that in the present matter, the balance sheet did not amount to acknowledgement of liability, as the auditor's report read with the balance sheets caveats the acknowledgement of debt. Now the court observations and judgment, finally after hearing all the arguments and the evidences. So the court noted that Section 18 of the Limitation Act is definitely applicable to the IBC by virtue of Section 238A of the IBCs. It relied on recent judgments in the case of Sheshnath Singh and Lakshmipad Surana and observed that the rationale for introducing Section 238 of the IBC is to make the Limitation Act applicable to the proceedings under the IBC as far as may be. It was stated that there is no reason why Section 18 of the Limitation Act would be excluded from being applicable to the IBC, provided that the acknowledgement of debt is made before the expiry of limitation. The bench referred to a number of authorities and in particular the decision in Bengal Silk Mills Company versus Ismail Ghulam Hussain Arif and said that wherein in this case it was held that though the filing of a balance sheet is by compulsion of law, the acknowledgement of debt is not necessarily so. In fact, it's not uncommon to have an entry in a balance sheet with notes annexed to or forming part of such balance sheet or in the auditor's report which must be read along with the balance sheet, indicating that such entry would not amount to an acknowledgement of debt for reasons given in the said note. The court explained that filing of a balance sheet in accordance with the provisions of Companies Act 2013 is definitely mandatory, and any transgression of the same being punishable by law. However, what is of importance is that notes that are annexed to or forming part of such financial statements are expressly recognized under Section 134 Clause 7 of the Companies Act 2013. Under Section 134, financial statements are to be approved by the Board of Directors. It is to be attached to each financial statement. Equally, the auditor's report may also enter caveats with regards to acknowledgements made in the books of accounts, including the balance sheet. The court hence held, and I quote, "It would depend on the facts of each case as to whether an entry made in a balance sheet qua any particular creditor is unequivocal or has been entered into with caveats, which then has to be examined on a case-by-case basis to establish whether an acknowledgement of liability has in fact been made, thereby extending limitation under Section 18 of the Limitation Act." The bench set aside the majority decision in Padma Kumar case along with the NCLAT's order dismissing the reference in the Bishal Jaiswal case and remanded the appeals back to NCLAT for a fresh determination of the facts with leave to parties to amend their pleadings wherever necessary. That was it about the video. Thank you.